How do you choose the right singing teacher for you? This is a good question for anyone who is looking for singing lessons or any kind of vocal coaching. Most people take a brief look online and choose either the first option they see or select via the cheapest option. But is that really the smartest thing to do? I'm going to talk you through today some things you can look at in selecting the right singing teacher for you. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, what am I looking for in my singing lessons? What am I aiming to achieve? Am I looking for a hobby, something that I can use just for a bit of fun, to de-stress? Or am I aiming to better my skill to make this my future career? By addressing what you wish to achieve, this will give you a better idea of the type of teacher that you are looking for. There are a lot of ways that you can go about selecting a teacher either online or locally to you. One thing that you do want to be sure of is that you are picking a teacher who is fully qualified, capable, experienced, passionate about what they do. The truth is, absolutely anyone can advertise themselves doing any job online. Even when they list themselves as qualified or professional, what does that mean? There are so many different companies that offer qualifications if you take their short online or at-home course. Anyone can easily take these fast-track courses, but then you're only qualified with that company to the level that they deem suitable to claim that you are a professional or that you are qualified. This means that those qualifications may not be recognised elsewhere in the industry, but you're looking for a teacher who has trained through an established exam board with a good reputation. That way you know the training that they offer is to a high standard. Why is this important? It's hard to know what actually is in these courses or if it is of real value. If the teacher has received the necessary training to tutor in this specialised skill. Well-established exam boards and degrees are far more likely to have offered the necessary training and qualifications only awarded through practical and written examinations. So they require hard work and effort, likely years amount of training. So rather than a quick fix online course that can be offered to anybody and anybody can take them, really do your research in which exam boards are professional and choose a teacher that has qualifications through those. Your voice box, the larynx, is a muscle. So it's really important that you work with a skilled professional who knows what they're doing so that you can develop it safely. You can look at reviews of the teacher online or music school. Do they have a social media page with client reviews? Have a look at what's being said. Are people saying positive things about them? Using their social media platforms, you can also see what they get up to. Would there be opportunities for you to take graded examinations so that you can actively progress your skill and give you qualifications? And also, it's a really good way of monitoring your development. Do they organise opportunities for live performance? Concerts and live performance occasions are a great way for students to develop confidence in their chosen skill. It's also a really nice way to show others what they've been working on in their lessons, and it's something to work towards. It's not for everybody. There are a lot of people that prefer not to do live performance, but should you ever wish to, it's really good to know that your singing teacher or your music school does offer that if you ever decided that you'd like to have a go. Experience is the next thing that you're looking for with your teacher. How long have they been teaching for? What age range do they teach? A teacher will usually list their experience online when advertising themselves. But if they do have social media, you can also have a look on that to see what they've been up to. You can see how long they've been doing their job and the type of students that they have been teaching in that time. When having a look, is there someone like you? Someone similar to you, perhaps in style or in age? That's a really good indicator that the teacher is capable and would be confident teaching somebody like you. Music teachers usually offer an initial trial lesson or a 4-week trial that you can pay for so that you can get to know them and try out their lessons without actually making any further commitment, just to see if you like their style and the way that they teach. This is great for the student because it can put your mind at ease. It means that you're not tied into any regular weekly lessons without actually trying the teacher. It might not be for you, so it's a really nice introduction to the way that the lessons will go, what methods the teachers use, and if you gel with the teacher. So it's a really good idea to see if they offer a trial lesson or a 4-week trial, and then you can really get to know them that way. When you do have your first lesson, or your first few trial lessons, you really want to make sure that the teacher suits you, but also during their job that they are polite and professional in the way that they handle themselves. An initial lesson will usually involve a brief discussion about you and what previous experience you have singing, if you do have any, and then the teacher can either start fresh and take it from basics, or they can pick up where you've left off with a previous singing teacher. The teacher should demonstrate what the right posture for singing is, and then you can adopt it straight away from your first lesson. You'll then do vocal warm-ups. This is really important because it prepares your voice for singing. It also allows the teacher to see what your vocal range is. That is, the notes that your voice can comfortably sing without any vocal strain or any pain. Vocal warm-ups will vary from student to student. Everybody is different and we do all have slightly different vocal ranges. That is why one-to-one lessons are far superior to any pre-recorded online lessons that you can buy. There's no listening ear. So you really want somebody who is a professional to be listening to your voice and make sure that you are safely hitting the high notes and the low notes as well. They can see what your vocal range is like and offer any correct advice or critique on how to safely stretch your vocal range. When there's no one to give you any feedback, it's really hard to progress. Once your teacher has identified what your vocal range is, they will adapt their warm-ups to your voice. The more strength you get in your voice and the more confident you are singing these notes, you will be moved on to more complex vocal warm-ups to continually progress your vocals. Your teacher will ask what kind of music that you enjoy or what songs that you like to listen to. Try to give them an answer because they will then tailor the lessons to suit you and the style of music that you enjoy. When a student says, "I don't know," it really gives the teacher very little to play with. And it's really important that you do enjoy your singing lessons and the music that you're singing, because that means that you'll go away, you'll practice, and you'll also look forward to your singing lessons. When you truly engage with a piece of music, that is when you will get real joy out of your singing lessons. However, if you don't know what you like, ask the teacher to suggest a song or a style that they think might suit your voice. You may be pleasantly surprised. Give everything a chance. It may take some time for you to engage in that song, but it's just similar to when you listen to a song on the radio for the first time and maybe you're not keen, and then after a few times of listening to it, you really like the song. It's the same with your own singing voice. Give each song a chance. It might be something that you suddenly start to really enjoy, a whole new style of singing that you didn't think that you would enjoy. And then the more you see your voice progress and adapt to that style, then you'll definitely start to enjoy it even more. Personally, I was never really a fan of classical music when I was growing up as a teenager, but my singing teacher suggested to try it, and at first I wasn't sure, but then when I saw how it changed my voice and how my voice was able to develop, I really started to enjoy it, and I still love classical music and opera now, so don't disregard anything. Be open-minded. The more different styles that you attempt in your singing lesson, the more versatile your voice is going to be. So yeah, as I've said, try to be open-minded, but if you do really hate a song, then say. There's nothing worse than dreading singing a particular song that you really don't like, and we do all have different music tastes, so give it a go. But if you really do dislike the song or you're just not feeling it, let your singing teacher know. There's millions of songs out there, so I'm sure they won't mind trying something else. Your honest feedback will help them tailor their lessons to suit you in future. Qualifications and experience are really important when selecting your teacher, but you can look for both of those in advance. The only way that you will see how passionate a teacher is about their craft is by having lessons with them. And a passion for music and singing is the most important thing that a teacher can have. It means that they are going to give you quality lessons, and an enthusiastic teacher will rub off on the student. It also means that they do their research. They want to bring new things to the table and keep their lessons fresh and exciting for the student. They'll try different methods with each student. It's not one size fits all. Every person that walks through the door is a different type of person, and a good teacher will really learn to adapt to each student, will go away, think about what that student needs, what that student will enjoy, and they will constantly be bringing new things to the table to make sure that the lesson is successful and that the student progresses but enjoys their lesson as well. If you have been singing the same songs over and over again with your singing teacher, then where is the development? You should never feel bored in your singing lessons. A teacher who regularly brings new songs to the table for a student to get their teeth into is a teacher who cares about the progression of that student. This in mind, a teacher may spend more time on certain songs and patiently advise a student on how they can progress. This is if a song is more challenging, requires more vocal technique, so you might find that you are spending longer on certain songs than on others. This is absolutely fine, providing that the teacher is offering you critique on how you can be advancing that song. It doesn't just happen overnight, so make sure that you do have a teacher who has the patience to spend the time, and as long as they're giving you the correct feedback, then this is good. If a teacher isn't offering you constructive critique on your vocal performance, they say very little during lessons, you might want to ask yourself, what am I actually learning? It's not uncommon, and I've heard this many times before from students who have had previous singing lessons elsewhere, that they can turn up to a lesson, sing the same songs over and over week after week, and the teacher says virtually nothing during the lessons, meaning that they're not getting any feedback and they're not actually progressing at all. This teacher is little more than an accompanist. They are not teaching you anything new. Finding a teacher who has a good balance between offering you constructive critique and allowing you enough singing time in each lesson to practice your vocals and display what you've been working on is definitely the kind of teacher that you should be looking for. You should never feel discouraged by a teacher's feedback. If you're leaving lessons feeling like you've had your confidence knocked by something that a teacher has said, well, that really does defeat the object of having lessons. It's okay to make mistakes. That's how we all learn, and a good teacher will take your mistake and help you learn from it in a positive way. So you want your lessons to be a really positive, encouraging environment. Equally, you're not looking for a yes man style singing teacher who just tells you that you're great and doesn't give you any honest feedback on how you can improve. You're having singing lessons for a reason. So if a singing teacher just says, yep, that was absolutely great, or says nothing, well, this is counterproductive because it's not giving you anything to improve on. So manage your expectations. You're not always going to be perfect, and it's the teacher's responsibility to identify flaws and offer advice on how you can improve. Accept the advice and listen to it. That's the only way you will improve. They're there to help you, and if you go away, listen to what they've said and practice, you will improve. If you are looking to improve to a professional performing level, well then the teacher may push you a little bit harder and maybe suggest that you take graded examinations. Purely taking lessons for a hobby or just as a stress relief, then they might have a slightly more relaxed approach at how they teach you. It can be more of a chilled environment. I think it is really important to state that above all, you could have the best singing teacher in the world, but it's up to you as an individual to make sure that you progress. Your singing teacher doesn't go home with you. They're not there to remind you to practice and to take on board the advice that they've given you. That's your responsibility. So when you are looking to pay for singing lessons, you really want to think about the full commitment. It's exactly the same as any other instrument. It takes time, it takes energy. So make sure that you've set enough time aside to practice. When you put in the time and effort that it takes, that it requires for you to progress, you're going to enjoy it so much more. Your teacher will see the improvement in your vocals and you'll feel it yourself. You're going to enjoy it so much more. So it really is down to you as well. So I hope you found my video helpful and it's given you some good tips what to look for to find the right singing teacher for you. Do your research, delve a little bit deeper. Try not to just accept the first teacher that comes your way. If it doesn't work out for you, it's okay. Keep looking and I'm sure you'll find the right one for you who's going to motivate and encourage you and develop your singing voice. I'm Sophie on vocals from the Murphy School of Music. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions or any comments, I'd love to hear from you.